I'm going to show you how to prepare your molds for a rubber block. What we're going to do is we're going to soap our molds, and what that does, it seals the pores in the plaster so it won't allow the rubber to stick. So take a brush and some mold soap. Make sure your mold is dry. It won't absorb as well in a wet mold. So if your mold is nice and dry, you take and soak your brush in mold soap and soap the entire mold. The top. So we're going to apply another coat of soap. This is our second coat. Do the same as you did the first time, and you will notice your second coat, it doesn't take as much soap to cover it. And all your second coat basically does, it's a preventive just in case there's a place that you missed the first time. Okay, now what we want to do is take your molds and lay them on a towel, and this is going to dry the bottom of the molds off. And what I like to do is use shop towels. You can pick these up from auto parts store, Walmart, and you just want to wipe off the excess water on this mold. When we soaked these, they were sitting down in the water, got soap running underneath of them. So it could have actually sealed the bottom of these molds. We don't want that. We want the air to vent out of the bottom of these molds. So just take a square or tool and just scratch into your mold. That's perfect. All it's going to do is let the air come out. The air takes path of least resistance. So go ahead and take a pencil and mark around the edge of your mold. If you got a pour hole in the center, you want to mark it as well. Make sure your molds are an inch apart. That's going to be filled in with rubber. Just drop your coil in your box and start pushing it into the cracks. Now we're going to Vaseline the inside of our box here. All the side surfaces get Vaselined, and in between the lines where the rubber is going to be. You don't want any Vaseline where the mold's going to be caulked down to the board, because it won't let So the reason we vent underneath our boards is to allow the air to escape from the mold. Also, if you don't put the spacers between them boards and rubber leaks underneath, it could actually glue your board to the countertop, which I have had that happen, and it's a nightmare. So remember the spacers. Okay, one nice thing about drawing the outline in these boards is to know where our mold goes. So place it down in the box, kind of press down firmly. Don't worry if any caulk squeezes out, that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. You can take a tool, clean it up, take your finger, wipe it off. No big deal. Place the other mold beside the other one. Nice and neat. Okay, that's it. I'll generally let these set for 20 minutes to let the caulk kind of set up, so it holds them in place so that when I start pouring the rubber it doesn't shift my molds. Today we're going to be using Smooth-On's PMC 1:150 wet, and the reason I like wet is because it has an oil in the rubber that continually comes out of it, so when you're casting into your rubber block you won't get any plaster residue sticking on the sides of the rubber. To loosen this mold, we're going to drag it to the edge of the table and just kind of push down on the edge of the rubber, and what that does, it breaks the mold loose. Alright, there we go. Just remove your mold. There you go. We got a beautiful rubber block of our mold. We can start casting in it in plaster and duplicate as many molds as we need.